What's up guys, today we're going to talk about something that you have been requesting a lot in the comments. It is when to use alternate modes for weapons. So I'm going to go over all the weapons that I prefer, that I've seen a lot of people using, the most popular weapons. I'm not going to do every single one of them just because there's a lot, and to be honest, I don't know the exact, the perfect way to use every single weapon, because I would just be lying, because I've not played like thousands of hours with every single weapon. But I'll talk about the ones that I have the most experience in. Now, before I get into it, I just want to mention that, I read the comments and I've seen that you guys really enjoyed the dueling analysis video and you wanted me to review the viewers' clips. So I've created a new email address, called proxololclips@gmail.com. It's going to show up somewhere above me right here. And just send me your MP4 clips of a duel and I will just take a look at it. And if it's good, I'll put it in a video. With all that said, let's look at some weapons. So the first weapon I want to talk about is my personal favorite, of all the weapons in the game. If there's one alt mode that you gotta use, it's for the battle axe. So the battle axe used in alt mode, what it does is basically it's a shorter version, but it's faster, Pretty much you're sacrificing 20 centimeters of length, which is actually not that much, for insane speed, So if we look at the stats right here, we'll see that you don't actually lose any damage switching from alt mode to just normal mode. And the huge gain here is that the windup goes down from 625 to 525. So basically what you want to do here is use the alt mode and you'll notice that your excels are absolutely nuts. What you want to do here is just you want to abuse the speed of that weapon. Now, like I said, you do lose a little bit of reach, but it's not as bad as using like a mace or maul or a sledgehammer. I've not really noticed that, my enemies are just running away and I can't hit them. I do have an aggressive playstyle, which means I get up in people's faces, so the range is rarely an issue using this weapon. If you do have problem with the reach, you might want to just switch back to the normal length of the weapon. That's gonna help you. You can also switch back and forth between the two modes just so that you kind of mess up the timing of your opponent, because you're gonna go from a fast weapon, a very fast weapon, to a more slow weapon. So for the battle axe, you definitely want to be using it in alt mode. It is very, very good. That is my go-to weapon right now in duels. I really recommend it. Next up on my list, we have the spear. The spear is my favorite team weapon. So if we're talking frontline, if we're talking skirmish, it is very, very strong. Aside from having one of the best skins in the game and just looking awesome in general, the spear offers you two very different playstyles. The normal mode has a longer reach and higher stab damage, while the alt mode has shorter reach but is a lot faster and has way better swings while still keeping pretty good stabs. So when I'm talking different playstyle, I'm saying that when I'm fighting with my team, when I can stay behind teammates and I'm playing more of a support role, I'm gonna play with the normal mode because the reach is longer, so I can reach around my teammates and really play from far away, play kind of defensive and really support my teammates while still doing very good damage. Now, the thing is, as soon as your teammates die or you get caught in a 1v1 situation, if you switch to that alt mode, you're a very, very solid threat. You're no joke, That alt mode swing and stab is very fast, is very strong. So as soon as you get into a 1v1 situation, make sure that you switch to the shorter mode because you will defend yourself, You're gonna kill someone in 3 hits on average, so it's very, very solid. So if we're looking at the damage here, the alt mode for the swing is absolutely crazy, It's a huge upgrade. You get like twice the damage on most things right here. That's very, very good. The thrust attack, you do lose a bit of damage, but for the speed that you gain, the alt mode is not to be underestimated. You also want to keep in mind that the alt mode of the spear allows you to combo, You cannot combo using the normal mode of the spear. So when you're using the alt mode, you can do a combo feint to parry, making your defense a lot better. Next up, we got the longsword and the S-stock. Now, I'm gonna put these two together because it's basically the same thing, Both alt mode are gonna use the Mordhau grip using the blunt side of the weapon. This one is pretty simple, If you're fighting someone with heavy armor, I'm talking level 3, you want to use the Mordhau grip, because it does a ton more damage. If you look at the normal slash attack, it's going to do 42 and 34. 42 in the head, 34 in the chest. If you go in the alt mode, it does 60 in the head and it does 40 in the chest. That means that it's a 2-shot kill if you can manage to land a headshot. It's a 3-shot kill if you're using the normal side of the weapon. Now you want to be careful because on the S-stock and on the longsword, the reach of the weapon is a lot smaller using the Mordhau grip. So if you're fighting someone who knows what you're doing, even if he's level 3 armor and he's slower, he might be able to run away, turn around, duck your attacks and create some distance. So if that happens, you want to make sure that you go back to the normal grip. In the Mordhau grip, make sure that you play very aggressive and that you stay as close as possible to your opponent to reduce that distance and make sure that your hits connect, because when they do, you will destroy him. Just a quick side note here on the longsword. I believe that it is right now maybe the best weapon in the game, top 3, at least top 2. I want to say the best, okay, because it's only 5 points. That allows you to have extremely good armor, okay, 333, and it gives you second wind, which nowadays is almost a must-have in duels, because as players get better, the stamina game becomes more and more important, and just having a weapon that has good reach, good speed, good excels, good drags, it does just everything. In the Mordhau grip, you can 2-hit kill people. It's just very strong weapon, so definitely give it a shot. Next up, I want to talk about the Halberd and the Bardiche. Okay, both have the same, kind of like the longsword and the stock, they have the same alt mode. So basically what happens is you are straight up trading offense for defense. Okay, when you are in the normal mode, you can combo. Okay, that allows you to do a combo feint to parry, better defense. Okay, if you switch to alt mode, your weapon becomes longer, it does a lot more damage, but you cannot combo. Okay, so basically it's just a straight up trade. Do you prefer having more damage or do you prefer a stronger defense? Okay, if you're more confident in your ability to not miss a swing, okay, if you're disciplined enough to not miss a swing and you know that you don't need the combo feint to parry, then just go for the alt mode, because it just straight up gives you more damage. Now you do have a little bit of a longer wind up, but I don't feel like it's too bad because you gain a lot more length, a lot more reach. Personally, I don't use this weapon in duels, so in frontline, I don't really find myself using combo feints to parry that much. That's why I like to go alt mode and just go full out, full damage, go like big balls mode and just one-shot people. Now let's talk about the Vaihander and the greatsword. Just like the longsword and the S-stock, the Bardiche and the Halberd, they have pretty much the same alt mode. So basically, if you're using the normal mode, you have a slashing weapon. If you're using the alt mode, you're using a stabbing weapon. But I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're using the Vaihander and the greatsword as a stabbing weapon primarily, you're probably doing it wrong. You should be using a spear. The main reason why you would want to use the alt mode on these two weapons is if you're fighting in a close quarter, very restricted space area. So let's say that your enemy is right there in the middle and then you're like, man, my swings can't hit him, okay? Like my sword's too damn big. I can't hit him, okay? The sword's too long. You just go into alt mode and now you can actually swing freely in the middle right here and you have a lot better chance to just hit the guy. It's also good to remember that the Vaihander and the greatsword are faster in the alt mode, so if you're fighting someone with a rapier or a dagger that's just spamming you down, it could be helpful to just switch to the alt mode and have a faster weapon yourself. The Evening Star is very similar to the longsword and the greatsword. Basically, when you're in normal mode, you have very strong swing, weaker stabs. If you go into alt mode, you have stronger stabs, weaker swings. The weapon is also a lot smaller, so that helps in close quarter fights. Something that is worth mentioning is that if you're fighting, let's say, with a team in frontline, the alt mode is very useful because it allows you to not hit your teammate if you decide to swing, okay? Because the weapon being shorter reduces the chance of you hitting your teammates in the back when you're trying to swing. And since the stabs are stronger, then let's say this is a teammate and this is your enemy, if you swing, you're gonna hit him. But if you stab, your stab is going to be stronger, you're not going to hit your teammate, everybody's happy. Okay, now let's talk about the Messer. The Messer in normal mode is the two-handed version, and in alt mode is the one-handed version. If we look at the stats, they have the exact same damage numbers. The only difference here is that The two-handed version has a longer duration of damage dealing phase and combos a little bit faster, but to be honest, it's not that big of a deal to me. At least I prefer to use it depending on the playstyle of my opponent. So every time I start a duel, I'm gonna go with the shield and the one-handed master. Why? Because the shield is just a stronger defensive option against drags, axels, whatever, unless they're using kicks. If my opponent starts using kicks and he just keeps hitting me with them, it's just gonna cost me too much stamina, and every time I block and he gets the kick, he gets a free hit. It's just bad overall. So if my opponent is not using kick, I'm going to use the shield. If he is using the kick, I'm going to use the two-handed master. And that's how I choose if I'm going to go one-handed or two-handed. The last weapon I want to talk about is the heavy end axe. So let's just get out the way that the thrust attack does not change at all between the alt mode and the normal mode. The big difference here is the slash attack, okay? So basically, you'll notice that the blunt, which is the alt mode, does a lot more damage in the head, right? So you might be thinking, man, if you go on level 3 armor, you're fighting level 3 armor, it's worth it to go blunt, right? Actually, it's not, because, okay, yes, it's a 2-shot kill. It's also a 2-shot kill if you're using the normal mode, okay? You do 60 in the head, 45 in the chest, it's still a 1-shot kill. Okay, you're above 100 here. So now the only way you're not 2-shotting this guy with a headshot is if you hit him with a headshot and then you go for the legs, level 3 legs. Okay, it does 35, the blunt weapon does 36, but with the headshot damage you'll just get the kill. So now here you're just wasting all of that damage. I'm talking on level 0, 1, and 2 armor. Look at the damage that you're losing if you're using the blunt side. It's absolutely not worth it, okay? The speed is the same. You're just wasting way too much damage. I don't like it, okay? I don't feel like it's worth it. Compared to all of the other weapons that we saw today, it was a different playstyle or just a different, more options. Now, I feel like this is just a downgrade. This is just straight up a downgrade. Also, you lose the stop on hit effect. So if you're using the edge, the cutting side, your weapon will go through once you've hit someone. If you're using the alt mode, it will stop after a hit. So that's another downside. Is it better? I don't think so. Just use the edge. And that's it for today, boys. I've touched pretty much all of the weapons that I wanted to talk about. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed. Let me know if I missed anything or if you guys want me to do something similar. Just let me know if you have ideas. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys later.